Most people think the cheapest tractor from a big-name brand is the best deal, but that is not always true. Some cheap tractors are just cheap. Others give you way more power, more usefulness, and a lot more value for almost the same money. So in this video, I rank 10 of the cheapest, but most powerful tractors you can buy in America right now based on price, horsepower, and real farm usefulness. And stay till the end, because I will show you the best tractor under $20,000, the smartest all-around buy, and the one tractor that gives the most horsepower for the money. And honestly, the number one pick may surprise a lot of people. Let's start with number 10. Bobcat CT2025 MST. At number 10 is the Bobcat CT2025 MST. It gives you about 24.5 horsepower and starts around $20,760. This is a decent starter tractor if you want something for mowing, light loader work, grading, and general property maintenance. It can do the job. The biggest advantage here is familiarity. A lot of buyers already know the Bobcat name, so it feels like a comfortable entry point. But here is the problem. For the money, it does not stand out enough. It is not bad. It is just that once you move a little higher in this list, the value starts getting a lot more interesting. So this is a solid entry-level choice, just not a standout bargain. Number 9. Massey Ferguson 1825E Shuttle. At number 9, we have the Massey Ferguson 1825E Shuttle. This one gives you around 24 horsepower and is shown up around $20,097. This tractor feels like the safe choice. Massey Ferguson has history, strong name recognition, and a lot of trust behind it. So if you are the kind of buyer who values brand comfort and simple ownership, this one makes sense. It works well for hobby farms, small acreage, and everyday chore work. But in pure value terms, it still feels more safe than exciting. And that matters in a video like this, because we are not just looking for tractors that are okay. We are looking for the ones that really make you stop and think, wait, that is a strong deal. That is where the next few tractors start pulling ahead. Number 8. LSMT225E. At number 8 is the LSMT225E. It gives you about 24.6 horsepower and has been listed around $20,200. This is one of the more underrated tractors on the list. Why? Because it is not just about the horsepower. The LS starts looking smart when you think about actual farm use, rear implements, regular chore work, and day-to-day usefulness. That makes it more interesting than some buyers expect. If you want a tractor that quietly gives you good practical value, this one deserves a look. Still, it lands at number 8 because the tractors above it either break under that $20,000 line, bring more brand pull, or jump into a stronger capability class. So this is a smart pick, but not yet the point where the list really changes. And number 7 is where budget buyers start paying very close attention. Number 7. TYM-T25. At number 7 is the TYM-T25. This tractor gives you around 24.7 horsepower and can often be found starting around $19,980. Now, this one matters for a simple reason. It drops under $20,000, and the moment a tractor does that while still giving decent power, people start looking a lot harder. This is a very appealing machine for small acreage, light farm chores, mowing, and general maintenance work. If your goal is to own a tractor without blowing your budget, the T25 starts making a lot of sense. But let's be clear, this is not the tractor here for heavier farm buyers. It is more of a smart low-budget entry point than a serious workhorse. That is why it ranks here. Good value, very reachable price, but the next tractors start feeling more complete. Number 6. KIOTI CK2620. At number 6 is the KIOTI CK2620. It gives you around 24.5 horsepower and comes in around $19,686. And for buyers shopping in this price range, this is one of the strongest value plays on the whole list. Why? Because it feels less like a budget compromise and more like a smart buying decision. It is priced aggressively. The brand has earned real respect in compact tractors, and it fits a huge number of buyers, first-time owners, small farms, acreage users, and people who want a tractor that can handle daily chores without draining the wallet. If I were shopping for a first tractor near this budget, this would be one of the first machines I would seriously compare. And now we hit the top 5, where brand power, stronger capability, and better long-term value start fighting each other. Number 5. Kubota L2502DT with loader. At number 5 is the Kubota L2502DT with loader. This one gives you about 24.8 horsepower and is shown up around $19,295. This tractor is important because it changes the conversation. Once Kubota shows up near this price, a lot of buyers stop caring about tiny differences on paper and start thinking about the bigger picture. Dealer support, resale value, parts availability, and long-term trust. That is the real strength of this machine. If you want the safest big brand buy on this list, this is probably it. But here is why it is not higher. You are paying at least a little for the name. That does not make it a bad choice. Far from it. It just means that on pure horsepower for money value, others beat it. So if you want peace of mind, Kubota is hard to ignore. If you want the most tractor for every dollar, the top 4 get more aggressive. Number 4. KIOTI CK3520. At number 4 is the KIOTI CK3520. This tractor gives you around 34.9 horsepower and costs about $24,265. This is where the list stops feeling like a starter tractor roundup and starts feeling like real farm buying. Because jumping from the 24 to 25 horsepower class into the mid-30s is a big jump in real-world usefulness. That means stronger implement flexibility, more confidence on harder jobs, and less chance of regretting that you bought too small. And that is exactly why this tractor ranks so high. For not a massive jump in price, you get a machine that feels like a serious upgrade. If you want a tractor that still feels affordable, but clearly more capable, this is one of the smartest picks in the whole video. But the top 3 go even further. Number 3. KIOTI CK4020. At number 3 is the KIOTI CK4020. This one gives you around 39.6 horsepower and costs about $26,681. This is one of the biggest turning points on the list, because now you are getting close to 40 horsepower without jumping into the kind of price bracket many buyers fear. That is a big deal. This tractor starts making a lot of sense for buyers who want room to grow, more land, heavier work, tougher implements, or just more confidence that the tractor will still feel right years from now. This is not just a good compact tractor. This is the point where the value starts feeling serious. The only reason it is not higher is that the top 2 bring something even stronger. One feels more work ready, and the other is just shocking in terms of power for the money. Number 2. Mahindra 1635. At number 2 is the Mahindra 1635. It gives you around 36.2 horsepower and has been listed from about $24,999. Now on paper, it does not have the most horsepower in this range, but this is where paper specs are not the whole story. The Mahindra 1635 feels like a tractor built to work. Loader chores, moving materials, livestock jobs, pasture maintenance. This is the kind of machine that feels ready for real daily use. That is why it ranks this high. It has strong balance, strong price, strong practical usefulness. So if you want the tractor on this list that feels like the smartest all-around farm buy, this one is very hard to beat. But there is still one tractor that completely changes the horsepower for price conversation. And this is the tractor I think many viewers will not expect to see at number 1. Number 1. TYM 4815R. At number 1 is the TYM 4815R. This tractor gives you around 48 horsepower for about $25,250. And this is where the whole list pays off, because most buyers start this search thinking about 24 or 25 horsepower tractors, maybe low 30s if they stretch the budget. But 48 horsepower for this kind of money? That changes everything. This is the kind of tractor that makes people stop and say, wait, how is that not way more expensive? And that is exactly why it wins. If your number 1 goal is getting the most horsepower for the money, this is the clear standout. It gives you more room for heavier chores, bigger implements, tougher work, and future needs that smaller tractors may struggle with later. It may not be the name most people expected to see at number 1, but if we are talking about cheap and powerful, this tractor earns the spot. No question. What should you actually buy? Now here is the part that matters most, because the number 1 tractor is not automatically the right tractor for everyone. So if I had to break it down simply, here is how I would look at it. If your budget is under $20,000, I would look hardest at the KIOTI CK2620 and the TYM-T25. Between those two, the KIOTI feels like the smarter overall buy. The TYM feels like the more budget-driven entry point. So if I wanted the better value under 20K, I would lean KIOTI CK2620. If I wanted the safest big brand choice, I would choose the Kubota L2502DT. Not because it wins on raw specs, because it wins on confidence. Dealer network, part support, resale, long-term ownership. That is where Kubota earns its place. If you want the tractor that lets you sleep easiest after buying, this is probably it. If I wanted the smartest all-around farm tractor, I would pick the Mahindra 1635. This one hits the best balance of price, power, and work-ready usefulness. It is the kind of tractor that makes sense for real farm chores, not just occasional property work. If I had to recommend one tractor to the widest range of serious small farm buyers, this would be my pick. If I wanted the most horsepower for the money, I would choose the TYM 4815R. No hesitation. If your goal is simple, get the most tractor possible for the money, this is the winner of the whole list. So those were 10 of the cheapest, but most powerful tractors you can buy in America right now. And the big takeaway is this: the cheapest tractor is not always the smartest buy, and the biggest brand is not always the best value. Sometimes the best tractor is the one that gives you the right mix of price, power, real farm usefulness, and long-term confidence. Now I want to hear from you. Did the number one pick surprise you? And if you were spending your own money, which tractor on this list would you actually buy? Would you still go with Kubota for the trust, Mahindra for the all-around strength, KIOTI for the balance, or TYM for the raw horsepower value? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more tractor rankings, farm equipment comparisons, and budget buying guides, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.